Salutations, my fellow dandies. I'm Jack Dandy. We're back in Final Fantasy XIV. And it is Little Ladies' Day, which is an event I have done before, but I don't remember what last year's event involved. It was obviously very memorable. Maybe once I start talking to characters, it will refresh my memory, but this year you get a fan dance, so I can only assume, I don't know, I beat something up and take its fans? How else would I acquire fans other than beating things up? It's the only way I know how to acquire fans. It's probably why I'm so unsuccessful. All right, so inheritance, the royal. I don't remember this guy. Maybe he's new. I definitely remember doing this quest. I remember Little Ladies. Legit just don't remember what the quest was last year. And then once we've done this event, we'll go back to Shadowbringers. I can't remember where we were in Shadowbringers, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Begging your pardons, good sir, but you're an adventurer, are you not? If so, I should be much obliged for your kind assistance. I am the Royal Seneschal. Yes, now. And it is my honor to oversee Little Ladies' Day in case you are unfamiliar. I am unfamiliar. The festival celebrates all the maidens in the realm. And my duty is to see that each and every lady is treated as a princess. For this year's celebration, we are planning to distribute replicas of an antique folding fan to participants. Can I have one? Wishing to learn more about said fan, Miss Aldithia, the scion of the House of Thorn, has taken upon herself to investigate its origins. Alas, she has ever had a frail constitution and is feeling unwell. For now she rests at my insistence, but passionate as she is about the celebration, I worry that she won't stay put. Thus, would I turn to you for help? In order to take the burden off my lady, who is also a treasured princess this day, might I prevail upon you to assist with her investigation? I'm truly grateful. Now Miss Aldithia should be resting on the bench in the Gold Court, so pray seek her out there. I leave her in your capable hands. Alright. Well, I mean, they're giving me the fan straight away after doing this quest, so I'm guessing it's going to be short. Where does it want me to go? The gold coin. Where am I? I'm not at the gold coin. I don't know Uldar very well compared to other places. I think I need to go into the center though. Oh, the gold court. It's not even the gold coin. As I said, I don't know Uldar very well. There we go. Gladiator's Guild looks like it's close. She's hopefully just down. Nope, just up these steps. This group of ne'er-do-wells hanging around her. So, oh, my apologies. I didn't notice you there, creepily staring at me. Pardon me. Silently staring at me until I noticed you, like a normal human. Pardon me, but I do not believe we've met. Is there something you require? So the Royal Seneschal sent you? Well, I would be lying if I said that I didn't need the help. I'm in a worse way than I had realized. I'm supposed to meet with 2 people as part of my investigation, but loath as I am to admit it, I'm in no condition to be up and about. As you may already know, I'm investigating the origins of an antique folding fan, the very one beside me, which I found in the Thorn Manor one day. Curious about the design, which is unseen in Uldar, I turned to the history books and discovered that it is the style used in the palace during the Thorn dynasty. Further research revealed that Princess Edvia, my ancestor who gave rise to Little Ladies' Day, once used such a fan in a dance she performed at a royal soiree. I gotta be honest, it sounds like you've already figured out the mystery of the fan. It was very beautiful by all accounts, and I should have liked to see it. Inspired by this discovery, I consulted the Royal Seneschal, and it was decided that we would make replicas of the fan as gifts for this year's celebration. However, when we showed the fan to the artisan we hired, he declared that, while undeniably designed in the Thorn style, it was crafted much more recently, no more than a few decades ago at most. Yeah. So it's a fake. This led me to wonder who had this fan made and why. With my mother no longer with us, I went and asked my father, but he claimed to know nothing about it and said no more. Though he married into the family, he is the present head of the House Thorn. If even he does not know, then I have to seek answers elsewhere. Additionally, if we learned how the fan was used during Princess Edvia's time, I thought that we could share the knowledge during the celebration. Thus did I arrange to meet with people who are versed in the history of our family. As I am now, however, I can scarcely stand without feeling faint. I'm sorry to impose, but might I trouble you to attend the appointments in my stead? If this is any indication of what last year's event was like, I'm beginning to understand why I don't remember it. So yeah, sure, I'll investigate an antique fan for you. I'm in your debt. Now, you will want to take the fan with you. You're also very trusting, just to give it to the first person who comes along and says, hey, I'll help you. Please show it when you meet the individuals in question. One is a reporter for the Mithra Eye who will be at the Arzeneth, Ossuary, and the other is a historian who will be at the Quicksand. Okay, I think I know the group of ne'er-do-wells has increased. I think I remember... I think the Quicksand's the pub. Yes. This one I remember because you come here for every single event in Uldar. Sup, grizzled historian? Can I help you with something? I'm actually supposed to be meeting someone here, but she appears to be late. Look, I have stolen her fan. Ah, well done. Ah, so you've come on Miss Aldithia's behalf, and this is the fan she wished for me to inspect. Indeed, it is of a style hailing from the Thorn dynasty. It is said that Princess Edvia carried such a fan when she attended functions. In those days, it was considered meet for noble women to cover their faces, to which end they carried folding fans on their persons. But as the legend of the lost lady would attest, Princess Edvia didn't concern herself with social norms, and at the royal soiree, far from using her fan to cover her face, she used to perform an impromptu dance. The Sultan and his retinue, the seneschals, looked on aghast, but the guests were captivated by her performance and erupted into rapturous applause when she finished. That dance came to be known as the Little Lady's Dance, and it's said to have been passed down through the women of House Thorn. The fan you hold, I expect, was crafted for that very purpose. Curious, though, as the daughter of House Thorn, it seems to me that Miss Adithia should be aware of this legacy. In any case, I hope I was able to be of some help to her. Pray pass along my regards. I was going to say, give me the fan back. I need that. I mean, it'd be fine if they just put the fan in my mailbox and then called it a day, honestly. Thaumaturge's Guild. It's probably just as quick for me to run over there as it is to teleport over there, but... Well, I'm already at the Etherite now. Where could Aldithia be? Can I help you? Now you look at the fan I took. Definitely didn't steal it. This fan? Adithia sent you, I take it. Very well then, I'll tell you what I know. When Adithia reached out about an antique fan she found, I was instantly reminded of a similar one I saw long ago. By her description alone, I couldn't be certain, but to see it here and now, there's no doubt in my mind. This fan once belonged to Adithia's mother, Claudia. She was still half a girl at the time, 15 summers old perhaps, when I interviewed her for a late Little Ladies' Day article. That day she had this very fan with her. She was out of sorts, though, and begged to sit down and rest. As tired as she looked, I decided to cut the interview short and ended up writing about something else. Obviously, no. It's always been my problem. Lack of attention. If you can't hold my attention for more than 5 minutes, I just wander off. I wrote a article about a tree. I won an award. I must say, I find it a little strange that Aldithia should ask me about the fan. It belonged to her mother, after all. Surely she would know about it. Bye. I got both of them like, yeah, it belonged to her mother. It's weird, though, that she doesn't know about it. It's like, yeah, because her mum's dead. I mean, you can't be expected to pass on every single trinket of information before she passes away. Ah, you are returned. Thank you for attending the appointments in my stead. So, did you learn aught of interest? I learned naught of interest, but here's your fan back. You dance with it, and that's it. That's about pretty much all I learned. What? The fan was my mother's, and it was used to perform the little lady's dance, a dance passed down through the women of our line. Nod. Forgive me, but I'm not sure what to think. I never knew about any of this, about neither the fan nor the dance. Why didn't my mother share the tradition with me? She didn't have the chance. Yes, I feel that is the only plausible explanation. My mother succumbed to illness when I was little. Even if she had wished to pass on the tradition, she never had the chance to do so. Why ask, then? Be that as it may, my father must have known something. I know not why he claimed otherwise and feigned ignorance about the fan, nor do I expect that he would willingly talk. Still, I want to know about the dance and about my mother. I'm sorry to impose yet again adventure, but won't you help me find the answers? Sure. That means a lot to me, thank you. Now then, if my mother appeared at Little Lady's Day with her fan, it seems likely that she performed the dance there. On that assumption, I propose we look for those who knew my mother around when she was involved in the festival. For this, wealthy middle-aged folks seem like a likely place to start. Chances are that they at least cross paths with her in social circles. To that end, could you please try approaching affluent-looking individuals at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange and Eschsteinma's Aesthetics? I await you here. I mean, obviously it will bear fruit, but it's a hell of a gambit. Just like, hey, any chance you remember a fan dance? Like, you look like the sort that would engage in a fan dance. What do we know about women? Do you remember a fan dance? What's that? Do I know Claudia Thorne and the dance she used to perform? May I ask who's asking? The Warrior of Light, hero of Eorzea. Goodness me, to think Aldithia had no idea. I was good friends with her mother, I'm proud to say, and would be glad to share what I know. She was quite frail, was Claudia, and constantly took ill. As a result, she seldom attended dance social functions, and certainly never performed the little lady's dance in them. She did, however, show it to me in private, and I consider myself blessed. It was so beautiful, I begged to learn it from her. She kindly taught me, and she would have dearly loved to teach Aldithia too. I'm sure. It breaks my heart that she never had the chance. But if Aldithia is keen to learn the dance, nothing would please me more than to teach it to her. A poor substitute that may be for her mother. She waits at the Gold Court, yes? I should go and find her there at once. Do I have to still speak to the other two people then? Because it feels like I've... Yes, okay. I mean, it honestly feels like I hit the nail on the head immediately there. But, okay, maybe the other two people will also remember the dance. And it'll turn out that they all remember the dance slightly differently. And she has to watch the 3 dances and figure out which one she likes best. Hello, haughty mother. I don't know who haughty voice. A Thorn woman who once danced at the festival? I'm afraid I'm not familiar. Little Day has always been a common folks' festival after all. If anyone were to know, I dare say it'd be the head of the Thorn family. Just under their auspices that the celebrations take place. Okay. Again, you really do question why I'm having to speak to these 2 other people if they're... Where in the world did she disappear to? What? Did I ever see the dance performed by Claudia Thorne? As it happens, yes. Yes, I did. It was during a little Ladies' Day dance celebration many years ago. Claudia was participating for the first time, and I had the honour of being her guide. By thanks to my company, she showed me the dance. Flourishing her fan, she moved with such majestic grace. I was left utterly transfixed. A dance so lovely should be seen by all. Why don't you perform it on stage at the festival, I suggested, and to my delight she agreed with a smile. But no sooner did she finish interrupting the crowds than she retreated out of sight and over-collapsed to the ground. It was then that I learned of her frail constitution. Though I hadn't been aware, I felt no less terrible for making her overexert herself. I apologized profusely, begging her not to push herself ever again, and the sad look on her face when she nodded is something I've not forgotten to this day. But look at me prattle on to a complete stranger. My apologies. No, the husband is looking for someone, so I should excuse myself. I bet that's her dad. I mean, that kind of matches up with what we know. So, pretty good hit rate, though. I asked 3 people, and 2 people not only knew the dance, but had seen it in private. So, I clearly have a knack for just... It's just my love of dance itself. I just have a knack for knowing who other people who know how to dance. That's why I like Hildebrand so much, I think. Oh, there you are. A woman was here just now. She told me she was a friend of my mother's, and kindly taught me how to perform the little ladies' dance. Oh, okay. It's clearly not a complicated dance then, if you learnt it in the 3 minutes I've been away. Then again, I learn all my dances from books, so it's as beautiful as I imagined it would be, and I cannot thank you enough for finding this person. Now then, were you able to learn aught from anyone else? So my mother once performed the dance before a crowd, but the exertion was too much for her. What I have now seen, the movements may indeed be trying for those of poor health. I'll be trying for those of poor health, I go. Those such as myself. Thus did my father choose to keep the dance a secret from me, out of concern for my well-being. Or so I speculate, at any rate. Lady Ardithiel. I don't think this guy is. Thank heavens I found you. Rodolphe, what are you doing here? What am I doing here? Begging your pardons, my lady, but you disappeared from the manor without a word. Both your father and I have been worried sick. But all's well that ends well. It seems you were on hand for the young mistress. As her seneschal, allow me to express my heartfelt gratitude. Who is the other seneschal I spoke to there? Does seneschal just mean butler? I guess it must do. But now that, my lady, even as we speak, your father searches for you in the city. If you feel strong enough, let us seek him out together. It will set his mind at ease. Yes, of course. Thanks to you, I've discovered things I never knew about my family, and I would have you at my side when I meet with my father. Will you come with me? Yeah, I got nothing else to do. I mean, there's literally a war going on and I've stepped away from in another dimension, but yeah, no, sure. Thank you. Your presence will give me the courage to seek the truth. She stands up and goes, oh, no, hang on, I stopped too quickly. It just falls back down again. Never mind. Master Fortin should be somewhere in the Ruby Road Exchange. Please follow me. And now the crowd's just standing around an empty bench. Oh. Big dude with a big sword. You're the man from earlier. I should have guessed you're the one who aided my daughter. It's the guy who clearly was her father. I don't know why I'm so surprised. I said what I said, not realizing you had come at her behest. But what's done is done. Now allow me to properly introduce myself. Fortin Thorn, head of the Thorn family, at your service. No more secrets, father. Why did you hide the truth from me? I couldn't bring myself to tell you. Even as that fan and that dance hold fond memories of your mother, they are a painful reminder that she is gone. I couldn't bear to lose you as well, so please return the fan and forget about the dance. Is it the dance that killed her? Why is there a tiny bird there? What relation? What significance does the bird have to all of this? Father, I understand full well why you feel this way. Were I in your position, I would likely feel the same. Now there are two birds. Were there two birds earlier? I feel like there was only one bird earlier. As much as I am touched by her concern, I know about everything now. About Mother, and about the fan, and even the dance. Okay, I can... Okay, no, there's more. I was going to say, I understand how you learnt this in 3 minutes, then, if that's all the steps there are to it. I don't know, this doesn't seem like it's that, like, strenuous to dance. Maybe it just goes on for, like, maybe you're supposed to do it for, like, an hour. Claudia. Oh, Lady Alethea, that was extraordinary. Where in the world did you learn how to dance so beautifully? Stranger taught me. An old friend of Mother's taught me. Despite all these years, she still remembered the entire dance, down to the smallest flourish. Mother brought you great joy when she danced for you that day. On coming to understand this, I knew that I wanted you to experience that joy again. Oh, Tithia. Like I once apologized to your mother, I must now apologize to you. It was wrong of me to hide the fan and the dance from you, and I hope you find it in your heart to forgive me. If it is your desire to carry on the tradition, then I will not stand in your way. Thank you. But you know, Father, it is Little Lady's Day. Rather than an apology, is there not a more appropriate gesture for the occasion? As you say, my princess. As you say. I, Fortin Thorn, head of the Thorn family, do hereby pledge to serve as your loyal seneschal. Your every wish is my command. Piggyback! No. My back hurts. I'm very old. Except perhaps when I judge that you are overexerting yourself. After all, your highness's well-being is my foremost priority. I shall bear that in mind. Without further ado, then, my first wish is to instruct festival staff in the Little Lady's Dance, that we may share it with all who participate in the festivities. If that is your wish, then it is mine as well. On this day, all ladies are princesses, and everyone should by rights inherit the dance passed down in our family. I'm sure the Little Lady staff will be thrilled to have a new dance routine to learn on the day of the festival. I have a gift for you, adventurer. This is a token of my gratitude. It isn't much, but please accept these instructions for the dance along with a replica of my mother's fan. It only took me 1.5 minutes to learn the dance, and then I took another 1.5 minutes writing it down in this book. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. I feel like your mum probably could have taken the time to teach you this dance, as it turns out. Now then, there's no time to waste. We must distribute these fans to as many people as possible, and share with them the history of the dance. This will be a Little Lady's Day to remember. Oh, yes, it will. Like the butler just giving a thumbs up. It's like, that's not a very butlery thing to do. But cool. We have our Ladies' Day dance. I can do my fan dance. And then I think, well, let's learn the fan dance. There we go. I think There should be... Yeah. Buy that, and buy that. And I'm going to put up a little poster in my room. Oh, and now they do the fan dance. That's cute. So this was the girl I was posing behind at the start for my thumbnail, and now she's doing the. Now that canonically they know the dance. It's not. I never really. I feel like. Oh yeah, the little lady's dance is there, but this is special. Repeating adjustable other special motions. I guess the little lady's day dance doesn't count as special. Oh yeah, it just does it the one time, doesn't repeat it. Fair enough. Alright, well I have performed an elegant dance. I have bought all of the... I mean, yeah, that was like 20 minutes, that event. That really didn't take very long. Alright, off to... Actually, now I'll tell you what, before we head back to... the First. That's the name of the place. Let's go put up my new poster. It's been a while since we've been in my apartment. Ah, look at it. We'll put it above the door. That looks like a good place to put it. I can never remember where the friggin' house stuff is. Is it in social? Yes. Indoor furnishings. Hang on. I can't. Thank you, bed. Try and get it centered. There we go. Oh yeah, I should probably learn the orchestration role. Orchestrion? Orchestrion. I've been calling them orchestrations the last year, and they're orchestrions. There we go. I love a little poster for my terribly gaudy, it's just entirely filled with event stuff and a couple of bits I bought from the shop, and that one picture Elfmano drew, and my bed. This is a fantastic apartment. One day, when I run out, and I properly run out of things to do, when I've got every triple triad card, and I've got all the blue magic, maybe one day I'll go through the effort of actually getting some proper furniture and try and decorate it. One day. For now, though. It can stay as it is. Maybe when I get to that point, I'll just save up and buy a house. Okay, so, what did we do last time? Alistair is contemplating all that must yet be done in the wake of battle. Yeah, we got attacked by Sin Eaters at the Crystarium after defeating the Sin Eater in the Great Woods. I think it was probably Yulmore that sent them after us. I don't know if that was confirmed, but it probably was. The others are helping to treat the wounded. I'm planning to assist in moving them, but even so, we simply don't have enough hands. I'm sure you're fit to fall over after what we've been through. God knows I am. And if you could see to a few of the patients, it would be an enormous help. Captain Lena is about somewhere, so you might also consider asking her if there are any other outstanding areas of need. We'll talk later. Yeah, and my Warrior of Darkness friend, my invisible friend, was upset because he couldn't do anything. But then he saw me, and he seemed less upset. Because I'm cool. Please, use healing magic on me. Don't just keep rubbing my belly. Tearfilled eyes, the prone man gazes up at you. His fingers twitch as if to reach for you, but he lacks the strength to raise his hand. I mean, I'll use Vercure. Oh. Well, I just healed myself in front of that dying man. That's kind of rubbing salt onto the wound, isn't it? It's like someone very thirsty calls up to you and you just sit there staring at them drinking a glass of water. Oh, well. Let's hope he doesn't die and tell anyone what a dick the Warrior of Light is. Hello, Anguish Guard. Didn't we just look like I'm giving you head pats? Who's a good guard? You are. Thank you, but it's too late. One of them, it got me. If I turn, please kill me, I beg you. I mean, do you want to do it now? I can do it now. I'm not fussed. I don't know who you. I don't know you. Hey, I'm really hiding in the corner. Augustus, that does not help. We're trying to eat. We're trying to ease these people. Not you. Just stop. All I can see is Augustus's butt. Don't touch me. I killed her. I killed her. She was one of them. I know, but I. Here, play with my chocobo for a bit. Maybe that'll cheer you up. He's like a comfort animal. Hi, Lena. I'm gonna sit down. Are you?
Oh, I did not see you there. Is there something you need?
Oh, no, I'm fine. How are you? You alright? Anything new happening to you recently? How's things?
Injuries are part and parcel of battle. While there's breath in my lungs, I shall see my duties done. Don't pretend you're not of the same mind. You fought well today. Saved a great many lives. Thank you. Unfortunately, this war is far from over. We must replenish our ranks and shore up our defenses before they attack again. Now, if you will excuse me.
Oh. I got a cramp. I was trying to be cool.
I am fine. Completely and utterly fine. Better than fine. Hale and hearty and still alive to mourn those who are not. Who I failed to protect when they needed me most.
Aww.
We've come so far, so goddamn far. I could have sworn the end was in sight, and now... Now they will never see it.
Impudent worms of the Crystarium.
Aww. 4-3, you made my bunny girl sad. I must destroy you.
The tragedy that has befallen you is of your own making. Divine retribution for your defiance. The heavens have bequeathed to you a benevolent savior, me. I offer you freedom from pain and suffering. A paradise where man and Sin-Eater might live in peace and harmony. Why, already, our winged brothers and sisters regard me and mine as kin, alike to them in beauty and purity. But you not only reject my prophet hand, but raise your own against my Sin-Eaters. But it's only right that they respond in kind.
I guess we haven't figured out yet that he's feeding the Sin-Eaters to his people, but
Let this be a lesson to all those who would walk the path of sin. The wicked shall not inherit this world!
Y'shtola, have you got like some high-level magic you can just shoot about the sky, please? Nah, that guy's a dick. I was gonna kill him before anyway, but now I'm doubly gonna kill him. He made my rabbit girl sad. Varthru's ship is already gone. How flattering that he came all this way just to give his little speech. I apologize for my earlier outburst. Rest assured that I have no intention of allowing any of my wounds to affect the performance of my duties, especially not now. I'm just sitting here because I'm tired, not because my legs don't work. If I may, could I ask that you seek out Thancred and Minfilia for me? They endangered themselves on my behalf, and I would feel better knowing that they are well looked after. Thancred in particular sustained quite an injury from that Sin Eater. I would not be surprised if he were in Spagerik still. I don't know what that means. Please, give them my thanks. I will sit here, not injured. Perfectly fine. Oh yeah, I tried to clear out this whole map, and I couldn't get this one section of this map. It's really irritating. Where do I need to go? Or is it the Crystarium? This way. I don't know, I'm looking at my normal map and I've got a mini map here. There we go. Wait, is he up? No, he's down. Wait, is he down? Oh, god damn it. The one good thing is, so as I've mentioned several times before, is I'm moving. And one of the things as part of that move is that I would have a bigger desk, and I can finally. I've had a bigger monitor, 2 bigger monitors for a while, that I just haven't had the space to kind of deploy. And no, it is up. So one thing that I am really looking forward to. There's also they're just nicer monitors. They're like brighter colours and better looking. But I'll be able to have like a full proper monitor, and I'll be able to put it out on the whole screen. So I'll actually be able to see what I'm friggin' doing in games now when I stream them. This is my excuse for any time that I have been bad in a game or missed an instruction, misread something. It's because the screen's tiny. You're here for me. I'm sorry to put you to the trouble. I'm fine, really. The Eater landed an unfortunately solid blow, but the healers here have done wonders. I'm worried about Minfilia. She's not taking it well. Could I ask you to speak with her? My attempts to reach out seem to have had the opposite effect. She's gone off to the Hortorium, ostensibly to fetch herbs for Chesamil. But just talk to her, will you? So is Thancred infected? It's just like very like zombie movie. They were so close to getting the vaccine, and then Thancred becomes a Sin Eater. I mean, I know he doesn't, because I'm pretty sure he's in the trailer for Endwalker, but and if I check the card list, there's probably a triple triad card for him. Hang on, this way. Up. Again, I don't know why I'm looking at the minimap and not just looking with my eyes where I need to go. Okay, I think down here to the left. The Crystarium is just very windy. And I don't know my way around very well. You could argue I could have teleported over here. And I would ignore that argument. Why? Oh, it's because I'm auto-running. I was wondering why my run was so, like, wobbly. Minfilia to be lost in thought. Perhaps a gentle poke will get her attention. Alright. Hang on, I rather than a gentle poke, how about a gentle fan dance? Look at my new elegant dance, Minfilia. Nothing. Fine, we'll poke her. That she's just pretending that she doesn't know me because she's embarrassed. Where's poke? Pose, close. Point, almost. I could slap her. Okay, apparently slapping Minfilia wasn't enough to wake her out of her... to get her to pay attention to me. You could just be there slapping her from side to side, drop kicking her, doing dances around her, and then there's just like this final and she's like, "Oh, warrior, right? The warrior of light. I hadn't seen you there." Is it in special? No, it's not in special. Where's poke? Super rally. Back facebound gravel. Oh, there's poke. Meh. Hey. What? Oh, Jack, what are you doing here? And why does my face hurt? Thancred. It's my fault, you know. I jumped at the chance to help Lena, but I was careless, and now it's my fault. And then you'll be wanting to get those herbs for the healers. Oh, what have I done? I promised I'd be right back, and yet here I am. I know that I need to be better. I'm only allowed to be part of this because I'm Minfilia, and I need to be more like her. All I do is make mistakes, put others in danger. Honestly, that's very similar to Minfilia. The Minfilia that I know was... You're way more competent than the Minfilia that I knew. Oh, you're right. I can still help, if only by seeing these herbs safely to Chesamil. Chesamil, whatever. There are only 2 left on the list, but I'll need to ask about this one. I've looked high and low and I can't seem to find it anywhere. Would you mind collecting the other? I'd hate to delay any longer than I already have. You're looking for something with soft leaf that's very fragrant. In an unmistakably medicinal way, I was told. Well into 2 sprigs or so. Once you've got them, you can bring them directly to Chesamil. Whoever gets there first can explain that the other will be back shortly. Thank you, I appreciate the help. Yeah, the Minfilia I know, the only thing she was good for was getting kidnapped. So... and sitting behind a desk. I don't think she did anything else. You can do like flips and like ninja stuff. Well, so what kind of apothecary is this, where the plants are just randomly scattered around? Okay. I thought I'll use the thing to teleport back, and then it wasn't there. There's one over here, it's fine. The map in Final Fantasy isn't confusing at all. What are you talking about? Right, now I know there's time to go outside. And to go round. And before we turn the in, let's eat some soup. I do also have 6 nut bakes and a baked mega piranha, but I bought this Zoni. I had this Zoni sloshing about in my pocket for the last couple of weeks. Ah, Minfilia told me that you would be bringing the rest. There you go. Some elven dill. This is lovely. I can't eat my pickles without it. Marvellous. With this I can replenish our store of medicines. We're struggling to keep up with the number of wounded that are being brought in. I wasn't on the field, but it doesn't matter. The patients' faces make plain that it was a horrible battle. Also, I might be a lady. Whatever. We're still fighting it, I suppose. Though with bitter medicine rather than sharp steel. But we'll win, I'll promise you that. It seems I owe you an apology for dragging you to yet another battlefield when you've just come off the front lines. In both cases, I'm sure your efforts saved more than a few. With Spigirix in good working order, the Crystarium's people will be well cared for. More lie ahead, of course. Battles only you can fight. Not that we intend to let you do it alone, but that's a matter to discuss with the Exarch. I'm starting to get my timing of my nods down quite well. You know the Exarch? We do. Was there something you needed? I need you to tell him something for me. My dearest friend, you see. He was on the battlefield with me, but only the one of us is here to speak of it. At the end, before the wound killed him, I heard his dying words. I never knew that our world was this beautiful, he told me. I'm so glad that I got to see the night sky. I don't know how the Exarch feels about what happened out there. I don't know if what Vorthri said is true. If our losses were our just deserts and we doom ourselves to worse by continuing to fight this fight. But I believe in the Warrior of Darkness, in the Crystal Exarch. I don't think what they've done is wrong, and I don't think we're wrong to fight with them either. My friend, he smiled in the end, just as he smiled when he raised his glass to celebrate the return of the night. That's how I want to remember him, not sprawled in pieces on the floor. So I want to tell the Exarch, don't give up, don't give in, please. I will tell him, you have my word. I was like, Danny's just like, can I get paid? Thank you. If you're ready, why not go on ahead to the Ocular? You can keep the Exarch company while I fetch Elfino. Don't worry, I mean to borrow the swiftest Zamara I can find, so we shouldn't keep you long. Be sure to pass on that message, eh? Do they not have link pearls here? I can't remember if that was ever discussed. I feel like a link pearl would be a way quicker way of getting anyone's attention than flying over with a big bird. Ah well. Let's go check on the Exarch, see how he's doing. Let me in. Hey, Exy. Welcome, my friend. Tales of your heroism on the battlefield precede you, though I confess I found them more gladdening than surprising. I hear no few of our people have you to thank for plucking them from the jaws of death. Would that they had not needed saving to begin with, but the responsibility for that lies with me. Yeah, we met this wounded soldier. He said you were cool. One of our soldiers said that? Thank you. Rest assured that I fully intend to continue our work. I will not shrink from what must be done, now least of all. Though I mourn the lost, I will not lose myself to grief, and even should regret be my constant companion, I will follow the path I have chosen to its end. Yeah, do you want to chat? We haven't really got a chance to get to know each other. How are you? How's things? And if I were to confess any doubts I might harbour, no one need ever know? No. I believe I have enough burdens without my adding to them. Nevertheless, thank you. That's alright. I'm not very talkative, but I'm a sponge for other people to talk to. Oh God, do they? Sometimes people just talk to me for hours and hours, and all I contribute is just the occasional nod.
My friends, with your aid, we have weathered a brutal assault.
he's sad because he had to teleport in outside and walk through the door.
Sorry I'm late, though I would not have been had anyone thought to notify me in advance.
How?
As I was saying, it was only with your aid that we weathered this assault. Without it, the Crystarium and all who dwell here would now be gone.
For each we saved, another perished. If there is anything else we can do to help, anything at all, you need only ask. This is our home too, and we want nothing more than to keep it safe.
Thank you. We are blessed to have you with us. As for the attack itself, Vorthri may call it divine retribution, but Sin Eaters are creatures of instinct. A coordinated assault is unprecedented. Moreover, in the absence of a Light Warden, there should have been no compulsion for lesser Sin Eaters to congregate here en masse. All of which points to a single, unavoidable conclusion.
Yeah, 436 them on us.
That these minions of light answer to a higher power.
4-3.
He who did claim kinship with them, who did boast of control, not in idleness, 'twould seem, but in earnest. Lord Vorthri.
Not Lord Vorthri, I wouldn't have guessed.
Indeed. What I mistook for bluster was in fact the truth. The Sin Eaters are his to command. But if he imagines this show of force will convince us to bend the knee, he is sorely mistaken.
I take it your meeting in Yulmore did not end well.
You could say that, yes. But I am wiser for the experience nevertheless. It appears he has mastered a technique which allows him to enslave the minds of others. A fact I discovered when he attempted to use it on me.
That would go some way towards explaining the peculiar reverence afforded him by his subjects. There may feasibly be a handful of true believers among them, I suppose, but it would not surprise me if the vast majority were in his thrall.
I wonder if that's what the dumplings do then. Maybe that makes them more susceptible or something.
Had I not anticipated his treachery, I might well have joined them. But seeing his invitation for what it was, I sent a glamour in my stead. I rather doubt such tricks will avail me a second time, however.
They made a big deal about the dumplings, so I really want to find out what the deal is with them.
Did you have any luck tracking down the Light Warden in Calusia?
Sadly, I have nothing to report on that front. What of Armorang?
After a fruitless few days scouring ruins, I resorted to asking the locals. While no one I spoke to had seen any sign of the Warden, I did uncover a possible lead. An abandoned mine in western Armorang. From what the Maud told me, it would be a perfect place to stay out of sight. Of course, I could never hope to explore such a labyrinth quickly or safely on my own, so I returned here.
Just rush in. Find
Even
three...
should we all join in the endeavor, an exhaustive search could take weeks. And with no guarantee of finding anything.
Just find 3 random people on the side of the road and rush in. That's what I do. It's never gone wrong for me.
The Wardens harbor vast reservoirs of primordial light, do they not? Far beyond anything found in lesser Sin Eaters. And isn't it true that the Oracle could see the light of a Sin Eater from miles away? Surely a Warden would seem like a blazing beacon by comparison. To the real Oracle of Light, I mean. The real Menphilia. If we travel to Armorang, to the south where she halted the flood, I could summon her back. What do you think?
Don't.
Don't what? Do what I can. What we both know is right.
Do not presume to know my mind. You have no idea what you're proposing.
But I do. I know why you never said anything. Because you thought you could keep me safe by keeping me in the dark. And maybe I thought so too. But I knew, Thancred. I always knew.
Oh, I see. I thought you were a rather underwhelming reincarnation, but it all makes sense now. The Oracle lies dormant within you, doesn't she? But to draw on her true power, you must become one, both body and soul.
Why don't we just clone her then?
To wit, one being must consume the other. Who shall be the lucky winner?
You must have a spare tank you could chuck Minfilia into. Go on, help out.
This doesn't concern you, Ascian.
But it plainly concerns you. Which is why your heart is ready to burst out of your chest.
I like Solus. He says what we're all thinking, but we're being too nice to Thancred to say out loud.
Despite the raging tempest in your bosom, however, you have never once opened up to your young charge. Now, why would that be?
Warlock just leans over and goes, he's in love with him, Minfilia, the original one. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, there we go.
Well, I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Certainly more promising than any of your other suggestions. So, it's off to Armorang we go.
I'll meet you at the gates.
So, well, now that Solus wants to do it, I don't want to anymore. So, I thought it was a good idea until he agreed. I'm sorry to be so insistent, but I know this is the only way. If you're willing to give me a chance, come with us. Okay. Am I not going to be a distraction? Like, if Minfilia tunes in, she's like, okay, I need to look for the brightest light source. It's like, oh my god, what's standing next to me? It's like the sun. Jesus. I actually just blind Minfilia and she can't. It's like, well, that plan was good. That plan was almost good. God damn it. It's like using it's like building the world's first telescope and then accidentally using it to look at the sun and just searing the retinas out of your eyes with a laser. How did I beat you here? Sorry for the wait. I'm ready now. There has to be another way. I don't care. You sure you want to do this? Completely sure? Hey, salutations. Chaya Halfling Dragon. Welcome to the chat. Look, no matter what happens to me, I'm sure that I don't want to go back to being who I was. I want to be stronger. Strong enough to face my destiny. And I want to believe that I can play a part in saving this world. I hope you can find it in yourself to believe it too. Doesn't this, like, won't this kill you, though? When you put it like that, how could we not? It is your decision to make. Just be sure that you are prepared when the time comes. I'm doing fine, thank you. End of a busy week, playing some Final Fantasy XIV. Hope you're fine and dandy yourself today. If all us are assembled, shall we depart? We'll follow your lead. What route would you have us take? Now about that, there's something I neglected to mention. I saw a Yulmurian airship coming into land over Armorang while I was on my way back to the Crystarium. No doubt the same vessel that bore Vothri's forces to Raktika. Meaning we can expect to encounter armed resistance on our journey through the region. Oh, that's good. I mean, it'd be boring if there was no combat. Right. Now Nabi Thorang lies in the southern reaches of Armorang, and there are two routes we can take to get there. I've drawn them on this map. I mean, you're gonna have to fill in part of the map with your imagination, but kind of broadly where we need to go. You're jumping on Final Fantasy 14 yourself. It's a fun game. Are you playing your way through the story, the main story like I am, or are you all caught up and just waiting for the next expansion at this point? The first is the eastern route, which would put us past Mordsu. It's Mordsu, if it's a silent Q. The other is the western route, which would require us to pass through the Hills of Amber. Minfilia and I took the eastern route last time, so let's go the other way, just to mix things up. Yes, that's the more well-trodden path. It also makes for easier traversal of the Nabath Severance. But we can't use it. As you can see here, there's... I could have drawn this originally. Oh, I don't even know why I proposed this as an option. If we did, we'd need to cross the Severance from a point nearby the inn at Journey's Head. If the Olmurans caught wind of our approach, it could very well bring them into contact with the inn and its patients, and we can be sure their activities would not meet with Vorthri's approval. If we make the journey more arduous, I believe it would be safer to take the western route, which brings me to my proposition. There you are, along with doing PvP and some quests, fair enough. I never really got into the PvP, but I've been tempted to, knowing that there's like emotes and stuff on... I suppose it's like a season pass, but I guess it is kind of like a season pass. But knowing that there are some emotes locked behind PvP, I've been tempted to, but I very rarely find the time to play this outside of streaming it, so I'm just focusing on the main stories, main quest for now. So maybe if they add an emote I really want to, I'll get in on the PvP. But while you make for the Hills of Amber in the west, I would draw the Olmurans' attention elsewhere, to an area in the east that I know to be uninhabited. That way, you'll have a chance at reaching Nabath unopposed and without risk to civilians. I cannot deny it is a sound plan, but nor can I allow you to go alone. My skills will make your task at least somewhat easier, will they not? I will accompany you as well. It will afford us a chance to have a proper conversation. And if I go with the others, I'm likely to say something Thancred will regret. It's like, I know what you're like. Well then, we'll leave the work of distracting Vorthri's forces to you. The rest of us will take the western route and try to avoid attracting attention. With that in mind, I think it best that we follow the road from the bridges. We'll move faster with a solid path under our feet. We'll borrow a few Amaro for our own journey, and I leave the rest to you, Minfilia. Thank you. I'll try not to disappoint. Everyone's just like, I'll just go with whoever. Oh, you've been holding back on the main scenario for the stream you want to do. It is fun to stream the story. I like doing all the voices, all the characters, even though I have like 2 women's voices. But the men I can do lots of different voices for. Where do I need to speak with Thancred? The bridges. Is that just... do I just have to walk through... You have the Link Pearl emote from PvP. Ah, see, I didn't even know there was a Link Pearl emote. The only one that I've heard... The only one that I've seen that I kind of wish I got, but I only found out about it like right at the end of that season, was the chest tap one that your character does like occasionally instead of nodding to accept a request. That's the only one where I've been like, that would have been quite cool to have, just because it's like such a common emote. But like I said, I think I missed the window on that. But I'm, if they ever do a triple triad emote, like actually getting the cards out, I will bend over backwards to get the triple triad emote. That's my bread and butter in this game. I love the triple triad. I just let chat read the storyline without the voices. Honestly, that would probably be the less arduous path. But I decided early on, hey, I'm going to do the voices for all the characters. And then here we are, 60-something streams later, and I'm still doing them. There you are. The gate to Amarang is just up ahead. And all the time I've been here, I've never ventured into the hills of Amber. Not that I'm particularly intimidated by new lands at this point, but we have more than enough reasons to be cautious as it is. Keep an eye on Menphilia for me, would you? Oh, you play as an... Oh, alright, that's the big, horny ones, right? I'm not great on the races. I genuinely know which one's which. But yeah, that's the big ones with the horns, right? Or are the Aura the lion, the animal people? Again, I'm not great on the races. I was either going to play as a Hyur, which I do, or a potato fairy. What are they called? The dragon ones. Okay, yeah, the horny ones. That's the right one then. Lalafels, that's it. I don't know why. I always think Lolorito, and I was like, no, he's a guy who is a Lalafel. The Lalafels. I was either going to play as a Hyur or a Lalafel, and settled on my boy Dandy in the end. Off so soon, Master Dandy. You've barely had time to recover from the battle. Well, I feel certain I'm hardly in a position to question you. I discovered a new location.
Take comfort in the bonds you share. Accept the pain when the time comes to part. Press on, for joy and sorrow walk hand in hand. Beyond Mount Garik lie the hills of Amber, beneath which run hidden veins of mineral wealth. Or ran, at least. Mayhap they are spent. Or mayhap the ringing of hammers can yet be heard below.
Oh, you're still in the beginning of Shadowbringers. This is a bit of a spoiler for you then. I don't think we're at a crucial point, so nothing too massive should happen in the next couple of missions, I don't think. We had quite a big... Last stream was the end of like a quite big bit, and then we're now working towards another bit. But this place has been scarred by the flood too. Who can say what lies ahead? But whatever else this road may be, it is mine to travel, and I don't plan to take a moment of the time I spend upon it for granted. What are you giving me? Oh, a head coffer. Neat. What do they give me? An Ovum wool muffed met of casting. That means nothing to me. Is it good? It is better. Oh dear. Well. Unable to apply glamour plates here. Yeah, so I can't. I think I'll stick with the gear I got at the moment until I can get to a place where I can glamour up. I think that's probably the. Is that the level 74? Yeah. We'll make do. It's important that I look cool. Oh, you play on Primal, do you? I'm on Moogle. I'm not familiar with the servers. I don't know if Is Primal a European server, or is it an American one, or... I take it you're seeing what I'm seeing. Finding a village when we're hardly 10 paces into the hills is a surprising stroke of luck, especially given our recent fortunes, but you won't hear any complaints from me. Let's see if the folk who live here can tell us what to expect from the road ahead. So you're saying, can you see what I see? You weren't talking about the amber iguana there. Ah! Jesus! I must have heard me talking about it. Let's go, Augustus. Primo's North America, is it? Okay. Yeah, I think I'm on Chaos, I think is the name of the server, and then Moogle. I think it's a European server anyway. That's all you need to know. If you couldn't tell from the accent. Oh, I like the music here in this area, but I do miss the singing from the Great Woods. Oh, it's these dudes. They've got adorable little faces.
You sell? No, you are no merchant. But then, why do I know your face? Oh, I remember. You spent Faubourg gold.
Oh, that's handy. It's the one of these dudes that we've run into.
Such a coin purse crackling. You are already a legend among Maud traders.
Oh no, it's just word travels fast. Mords, that's what they are. You're a traveling merchant then. Can you tell us of anything of this village?
Of course, anything for valued customers. This place is Garrick. Before the flood, it was home to many miners. After, not so many. Now, none. So Master Gengen borrowed the village, made it into a trading post. Very convenient location.
In which case, you must all be familiar with the local roads, correct? We're on our way to Nabatharang ourselves. If we continue south from here, will we have any difficulties reaching it?
Oh yes, great difficulty. The floods rent the stone and crushed the mines surrounding Nabatharang. Only steep cliffs and collapsed tunnels remain.
Oh no. But surely there must be some way. Do you think any of the other Maud might have some sort of hidden route?
Perhaps. You ask, they tell. Tell for free even, to friends of our best customer.
I mean, I get that I need to like trigger the Aether currents in this area, but at the same time, there are multiple flying mounts and creatures in this game that don't seem to have that problem. Could we not just rent an Amaro? Wonderful. Thank you for your help. Bye. Well then, best customer, let's see what information your reputation buys us. Rionje's been strangely quiet. Hey, Speedstar. You should play Final Fantasy XIV. It's delightful, if a bit long.
You wish to go to Nabatharang? There was once a way.
There was a way once.
A gondola down from the cliffs, but it was built for those who had left something behind that they wished to retrieve. Now there was nothing left and no one to use it. You may search for it if you like, but I doubt that its rusted wires would bear your weight.
In case you take down a memo regarding the gondola and a spare scrap of parchment. You can carry me some levels. I'll be completely honest, no. Putting it nicely. I was just literally saying earlier, outside of streaming this game, I never play it. I never have time to play it. Because there's so much other stuff to play. But it's also, there's so many things to do in this game, and it's like, I kind of want to do some of the side activities, but yeah, it's literally, I log in, do my stuff, stream, and then the game turns off for a week, and I don't play it, so, sorry. Oh, we could absolutely be friends if you're on my server. Although I think you can transfer servers now, so.
For Nabatharang, airship is best. Nothing is faster than an airship. The Omurans have one, I hear. You can ask them to take you.
That seems somewhat superfluous to do so. You duly make note of Gongon's words. Okay. He's right. The Omorans do have an airship. Where's this world Sid? Can we not just ask him for an airship? Nah, he probably works for the Omorans. But yeah, it's a shame it's not like... I mean, I understand the reason why. You know, MMOs have to have their own servers and stuff, but it would be nice if you could just more freely move characters around servers. And I know that they've now added the option to do that to a degree, but I don't know exactly how free it is to do that and what you can actually bring with you. I think you can go to someone else's server and help them with quests and stuff, but you can't... I don't think you can do your own story quests. I don't know. Wait. Oh, is there another red circle I need to go to? Oh, no, that's the other mission. That's the role quest I need to do at some point. Leading me astray. Maybe I can go inside one of these buildings. Maybe that's what it wants me to do. Oh, that's barred. This one's open, though. There we go. There we go. Oh, that is a surprise. Not many are bound for Nabatharang these days. I do know of a trolley that once went there. It used to travel between all the settlements and mines of the Hills of Amber. It is locked behind a gate, however. I assume they would have kept it from being stolen or damaged, but also prevents it from being of much use. Thanks. Alright, so the cable car. It seems to be basically the way to go. Ah, Jack, I'm afraid I've learned little of use about how to reach Nabatharang. The Omoran presence, though, that's another matter. Apparently, though their army is definitely in Amarang, there have been no sightings of the Omorans at all in the Hills of Amber. Perhaps we can take that as a sign that LSA's plan has borne fruit. Did you have any better luck finding us a route forward? I have written these down because I can't be bothered to talk to you. So these are our options. Well, what do you think? I say we go with the, the airship. I say we go with VFXIV. We could perhaps use a Maro, but even from a distance, I can't imagine what the Omoran army wouldn't spot us if we were to travel by air. No, fair enough. We could try the gondola, might die, but Gate aside, the trolley scene. Let's do the gondola. We might die, but I die all the time. I'd rather not, if it's all the same to you. If it went poorly, we couldn't simply wave our hands and vanish into the ether like Y'shtola. Not that I would recommend it, even if we could. Yeah, you lost all your magic last time that happened. And clothes. The clothes I don't mind about, but I do need my magic. Alright, let's take the trolley then. It does seem to be the least risky of our options, and I can't imagine one gate is enough to thwart you. I'd like to know a bit more before we dash off in search of it, though. Perhaps Zun can offer some insight. Zun! Can you offer some insight? No! Oh. Mission complete. Oh, valued customers. Were the other mode of help? Varying. Other fashion. They told us of a trolley that runs to Nabatharang, at least. But am I correct in thinking that there was a reason you did not do so yourself when first we asked? Yes. The gate, you see, is impassable. Before there was a hulking thing of stone, the Talos. Open the gate, they say. But none operate such a thing now. I don't even know if it yet exists. Oh, that's okay. So it was a big stone golem and it broke, I guess. I do not know, but you should travel east to Mount Baran Minat Mines. That is where the trolley controls stand. I still see miners there from time to time. If anyone knows what happened to the Talos, it would be them. Thank you, you've been a great help. We're off to Mount Biran then. Let's hope that someone will be there to answer our questions. Is Orianji just not allowed to talk at this? He's just not saying anything. But yeah, why the sudden interest in Final Fantasy XIV, Speedstar? I'm pretty sure it's not the first time you've seen me stream it. I don't think. There we go. The scale of the track is impressive, I'll give them that. Now we only need follow it until we come to the mines. Okay, just gonna run through these iguanas. If I go around the backs of them, they won't spot me. For Shirakos. The hell is that thing up there? Oh, it's one of the... I know what those are. And it's an Ovim Nanny, which is a way to say really buff goat. Man, that is a really buff goat. And there's a Billy. An even buffer goat. Oh. I've drawn its ire. I wonder if I can get one of those as a mount. This is the problem, as I see random buff animals in the wild, and I just think I want to ride them. Respectfully. Stratus over mommy. That's a different thing. I mean, maybe buff, but... And, you know, I'd maybe still want to ride it, but different. I guess say less horny, but maybe just as horny. Bit of a mess, isn't it? But the mechanisms for dispatching the trolley are here, just as Zunzun said. Unfortunately, anyone who might know how to use them is not. I might wait for Zunzun's mysterious miners to appear, and have a look around and see if I can deduce anything useful in their absence. I'm in favor of the latter. Something near the entrance to the mines proper caught Urianje's eye. Meet us there if you find anything. Now, we've already found a thing, so we're going to go look at that. You have a look at some other stuff. Flicks are rusted on the rails, but they nevertheless appear sturdy enough to bear the trolley without issue. Okay. Oh, you're not one of my team. You're just some guy. Always respectfully. You think when I'm riding on either of my two fat chocobos and luring them in with Gaishul Green... Do you mind? When I'm luring them in with either Gaishul Greens or cake, that I'm not doing so respectfully. Fire and lightning. There we go. Good work, Augustus. No, they're being incredibly disrespectful. But that's fine. More fuel for Augustus. He just gets stronger and stronger. Very, very, very slowly. Yeah, that is one of those things where I was like, when I first started playing this game, and I was like, oh, I'll level up my Chocobo. That shouldn't take very long. And he's level 6. It's been hundreds of hours. The cup is slightly warm and a fair amount of tea steeped over long. If the colour is an indication... Oh, I see. Steeped over long if the colour is an indication, remains within. The important point there was that the cup was warm. But also Dandy felt need to criticise the person on their tea-making ability. Whoever they are. Like, well, there's a warm cup of tea here, so there must have been someone here recently. Also, they're shit at it. If I find them, it will be the first words out of my mouth. That's it. Run away. Ah, Jack, what hast thou discerned? I found some tea. I see. Indeed, thine observations are consistent with mine own. But let us refrain from further discussion ere our comrades arrive. The cup was warm, but also half full or half empty. Well, considering how dismissive I was of the brewing technique, I'd say half empty. Ample evidence of recent maintenance and lukewarm tea besides. The levers for switching tracks looked like they were in good condition, though I couldn't move them myself. No ordinary person could, I think. And they just turned to look at me and was like, I'll do it, that's fine. It is my belief that no person is meant to. But Talos beareth more than a passing resemblance to golems of the source, nor doth it appear to be the sole example of its kind. The proliferation of Talos fragments, as well as the enormity of the mechanisms here, suggest a considerable number were once in operation. Alas, so this specimen and its fellows now lie lifeless and broken, and I know not how to repair them, that they might facilitate our passage through the gate. And without the aid of the Talos, even if thou wert somehow to unbar the trolley's path, we would still have no means of propelling it. I'll just shoot Verfire out the back or something, like a propulsion jet. It'd be fine. We might not know how to repair the Talos, but someone must. Otherwise, why keep everything else in working order? Whoever is maintaining the cars and rails must know something that we don't. Let's ask them what it is, shall we? Jack, I do believe you'll find a person of some interest skulking in the shadows behind the warehouse on the northwestern side of the tracks. While you two have a friendly chat, the rest of us will gently encourage those to the south to come out of hiding. Defend yourselves as necessary, of course, but do try to keep everyone in one piece. Off we go, then. So, I think they might have spotted us. What gives it away? Well, they've drawn their weapons, and they're running in a straight line at us. Probably a good indication. Whee! Thancred's great at the, stealth assassin part, right up to the bit where he actually has to do the assassination. And then he has a gun... He has a sword which makes gunshots when he uses it. Like the least quiet weapon out that he could have possibly chosen. Like, other than an actual gun. Making good progress. I think you'll finish Endwalker before the next DLC. Thanks. I mean, you don't know when the next DLC is out. They haven't announced it yet. Wicked. Who is this guy? This is a dude. Wicked White, where did you come from? No, never mind that. You have no business here, that I'm sure. Oh, okay. Can't believe you beat me. I'm a minor. It's like, oh, we beat him a child. No, I mean, I am underage as well, but I'm also a minor. Just put a silencer on his sword. That would be humiliating for Thancred, wouldn't it? So, like, Thancred, welcome back to the team. We're going to muzzle you. Just for a little bit. You're too noisy. We've had complaints. Okay. Now you guys just stand there. We'll take care of this gnome. If only there was a beast tamer class, we could just capture this thing and use it instead. Oh well, maybe next expansion. These DLCs on a schedule-ish, so we do know when roughly it will release. But yeah, Endwalker was Endwalker's delayed slightly because of COVID, because it's an extra 6 months, wasn't it? So if the next one's 2 years after Endwalker, which would be November this year, shouldn't they have announced it by now? Wasn't Endwalker announced like a year in advance? It was definitely announced by May, because I started playing this in May when it came out on PS5, and the Endwalker DLC pre-order was live. So it's definitely announced. It definitely had been announced around now. Good to hear. These two weren't much trouble either. Let's see what they have to say for themselves. Us, we're not the brigands. We're not the brigands come to take what isn't ours. Do we honestly look like we'd need to steal? What, some rusted bits of iron? Don't be absurd. We're not here to rob you. Very cool. This is the DLC is 100% not 2023. Oh, okay. So I've got ages then. I'll tell you, I can take as long as I need to. Yeah, people probably say it on stream along with doing a live on Twitch. Yeah, I mean, I would have heard something because the trailer they would have dropped they'll drop a trailer when they announce it. I think that's what they've done previously. A trailer which I will not watch because by that point I probably won't have finished Endwalker and it will spoil who is still alive. I enjoy watching the trailers for the expansions after I finish them because it's kind of like I go, oh, I remember doing that. It was fun watching the Heavens, all the other previous trailers after I finished it because it was like, oh yeah, I remember these things. A likely story. You look well. Well, you don't look normal, that's for certain. You don't have any wares, so you're clearly not merchants. Travellers never pass this way. The only reason you would come all the way out here is to strip the machinery for parts. Oi, Faff, I have an idea. What if, once upon a time, a lovely lady of noble birth ventured forth in search of her lost love, joined by her two most loyal servants, sworn to follow her into the world's end? On their journey, they met a sorcerer, as ancient as time itself. Moved by the lady's devotion, he offered to be their guide, and they turned up here somehow. You've got it exactly right. I can only assume that you're being intentionally obtuse, but in the unlikely event that that's a serious conjecture, no. I suppose I'm a bodyguard of sort, but we have rather larger concerns than fairy tale romances. Although there is a very awkward romance going on, but we're not talking about it because it's weird. Although I would fain hear more of this ageless sorcerer and his heroic deeds. Gods grant me strength. Is there anything about a pompadoured sunglassed man? I don't see many of them, so it's probably me if there are.
If I may, we're actually searching for a means by which to travel to Nabatharang. We were hoping that the trolley here might offer a solution.
I appreciate the office trust. Now, I'll watch when I caught up, because the thing is, even if it doesn't have direct spoilers, it does spoil, like characters, which I know is a silly thing to say, but like there's been numerous points in this where they've kind of teased Y'shtola's death, for example, and I know that she's still alive, so it's just like, well, I know that she's fine, so when does she come back? But when I don't know which characters survive anymore, it's like, is this one actually, is this one gonna stick? Is this character actually gonna die? I mean, I feel like they've painted themselves into a corner and made the characters too popular to kill them off at this point, but it's like, I know that Tartaru, for example, survives because she has a quest line after Endwalker, which is fine. I like Tartaru, but if there was a situation in which Tartaru was in trouble, I would be like, oh, well, I mean, I know she's fine, so go get him, Tartaru. Yes, yeah, exactly. That's what you just said. Trailers are spoiling which characters are alive. Appreciate that. I mean, by the time the DLC trailer comes out, I might be entirely caught up. You don't know if they're saying it's not going to come out in 2023. It might not be to the end of the year. I think that's unlikely at the speed I'm going, but you never know. I'm coming to the end of Shadowbringers, I think. The first part of it, anyway.
I realise we haven't got off to the best of starts, but if you know anything about how we might get it working again...
The trolley? The trolley? You should have led with that. We're always keen to discuss the trolley. We're both engineers in training, in fact. Jarek and Thaf, at your service. Technically, I'm a miner, and he does repair work, but our true passion is the trolley. We don't care how old you are. We're working with a few other folks to get up and running again. And before you ask, yes, it's true there's little in need of transport these days. That's no reason to consign a miracle of mechanical innovation to dust. Mere sight of it travelling the track once again would make hearts sore, mark my words. So these guys just like train like nerds, and they're just like, oh, we just really friggin' love well, not trains, but you know what I mean, the minecarts, but no one does them anymore, so we're gonna make our own, and then we can watch them. You'll no hear no argument from us. What progress have you made thus far? Not as much as we'd like, truth be told.
If there's anything we could do to assist you, we could gather materials or help put pieces together.
It's slightly more complicated than that, I'm afraid. If you spoke with Magnus, you'd understand. He's the only one with full knowledge of the trolley's operation. I suppose you could speak with him if you... I suppose you could speak with him if you'd like. We'll introduce you. Very well, no options are limited, and as Magnus can explain whatever is preventing the trolley from being restored, I'd like to hear it. He's like, okay, cool. He's over behind the other station over there. It's like, oh, I just beat him up. God damn it, okay. Alright, it looks like you'll be following us back to Twine then. Apparently so. What did you just give me? Ooh, chest gear. Is this cool looking? I don't think it is. Ovim wool tunic of casting. Nope, it's a tunic, which means it's going to look lame. Yep. Actually, this looks very similar to one I already had, but in a different colour. Can I glamour in this this twine of yours? It It's very important to me that I look cool. If you're ready, we can leave right now. Though you haven't seen another fella around here, have you? I thought he'd have come out by now. You think he'll be alright? Oh, I did beat him up. That's, well, I suppose we did force your hand a bit. I'll have a look just in case. You go on ahead, Faff. Alright. Looks like it'll just be you lot and me then. Trying to let anything take a bite out of you on the way out of the rail yard. And no promises. They're very aggressive. Everything. Maybe I'll zip by them in my floating bench. Oh, I was after I finished streaming this last week, I was in the mood for some more triple triad, so I looked up. Wait, where am I going? Oh, I looked up how to unlock some more triple triad missions, because I thought there must have been one in the Great Woods that I didn't do, and there was. But when I did the mission for him, I realised that there was like a quest. Basically, I went and unlocked this thing, the Great Serpent of Ronka. I don't normally bother doing stuff off stream, but I saw this little fella and I was like, oh, I gotta have this little guy follow me around. And the quest for him is adorable. The side quests. There's probably like a load of cool side quests that I'm missing out that I haven't done that I've missed out on, but. Damn that smarts. Did you have to thump me so hard? I'll be feeling that for the next fortnight at least. Know what to be done about it now, though. I've pointed your overeager companions in the right direction. They've gone on ahead, so we need to get moving. Normally we walk atop the tracks, but seeing as the young lady has as much shorter stride, that's more perilous than the route that I'm comfortable with suggestion. Wouldn't want anyone falling through the gaps. Of course, the low roads represent other dangers, but having been on the receiving end of your friend's blows, I'm not worried on that account. Multiple of these snake pets. There's a cowboy and a construction worker. Oh, and a mount. Oh, what delightful kettle of fish have I opened up here? I love him. Look at him. He's like a little tiny bee with no wings or legs. I shall have to look into the other versions of him. I think I'm going to have to kill this goat. Because I am. Wait a moment, I think I hear something. Yeah, it was the sound of me. If you just turn your head slightly to the right, you would have seen me kill this goat. Oh, that's something, alright. Run! Oh. Now to run. No, you're right. It's absolutely a side quest I wouldn't do unless I thought there was a cool reward behind it. And if it's a funny side quest or there's a cool reward behind it, I'm generally open to the idea of going out my way and doing it. Especially if there's triple triad cards locked behind it, which is how I find most of these quests. And I know there's a few that I need to go back and do at some point when I start mopping up. Oh, there's some big birds. When I go back and start mopping up like the raids and stuff, So I know that there's like a Chocobo with goggles on that is related to one of the raid quests. Because I've seen people running around with it, and I looked up how to get it, and I was like, oh, okay. And I know that there's a triple triad card linked to doing that quest as well, so I will get that eventually. Sorry about that. I don't expect this route to be quite so fraught with danger. We're nearly to Twine, though, so we should make it without further incident. Let's mosey, then. Yeah, I do kind of hope that I get on top of Endwalker before the next DLC comes out, so that I have time to go and do all of this side stuff. Good. This is it. Welcome to Twine. The original dwellings were built to house those labourers tasked with building the track. Over time, miners came to seek their fortunes. That's what made the town grow to what you see before you today. It was still the trolley that brought them here. As you've doubtless noticed, the tracks go to the very heart of the town. It was the heart of the town back when the trolley still carried everyone home at the end of each hard day in the mines. Now there's no trolley, nor much work to be had in the mines for that matter. Only residents that remain are the destitute, the delusional, and those with nowhere else to go. Or so they say. I'm all three. Oh, you reckon they might show something for FanFest? Interesting. Also, salutations, Frost. Good to see you. Yeah, I did see something about FanFest coming up in the next few weeks. Is it next few weeks or is it 8? Coming up. I did see. I got an email or something about buying a ticket. DLC is going to be 2025. You reckon they'll push it back as late as that? I mean, I would have thought they wouldn't want to put out this year just because Final Fantasy 16's coming out. But once 16's out, they don't really have... Well, they got 16 and Final Fantasy 7 Part 2 coming out this year. So next year, they haven't got any Final Fantasy stuff coming out. So that makes sense to me to put out in 2024. I should give you some indication of what to expect when you meet Magnus. As I said, it will help you understand why we can't get the trolley running. Just don't expect too much aside from that. I mean, let's be honest. Square, outside of Final Fantasy and... Fellas? Outside of Final Fantasy and a few other things, Square do struggle with some of their games recently. So they need those tentpoles to kind of hold them up. Well, that's encouraging, but I don't see that we have much choice. Let's go and meet the man. Right, I'm going to go and tune to this Aetheryte, if that's okay with you. Yeah. Did I miss it on the way in? I must have done. Alright, well, it's not that far away when I need to go and collect them. Looking more improved with the game than previous DLCs. So that's why I think it'll be a longer delay. I agree with you that I think it will be a longer delay, but 2025 seems too long because they've been doing them once every 2 years up until now, and 2024 would put it at 3 years because it was 2021 when Endwalker came out. I mean, I guess we'll find out. I guess we shall see. Oh, it's a big sad cat. Who are you supposed to be? Never seen the 3 of you in my life. Or the 4 of you. I've been drinking a lot. Might be 9 of you. Wicked White, if you're going to bother me, you at least have the damned courtesy to stand still. I mean, he thinks this one is deep in his cup, so he is drunk. These are my guests, Magnus. Ran into them at the mines. They're looking for a way to reach Nabatharang, so they came to ask about the trolley, you see. What? There's nothing in Nabatharang. Not anymore. And especially not for frail little girls. Give it up. No, we must reach Nabatharang. I must. So you'll have your heart set on it. Oh, doesn't care. The place is a ruin, nothing more. You're not getting there in the trolley. That thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. Oh yeah, they did just put out Octopath Traveler 2. Is that made by Square or just published by them? Because I always get confused, because there's like loads of Square games that aren't actually made by them. And of various qualities. What did they put out? Did they just put a game? No, maybe it was... Sorry, I'm bouncing. I should finish my sentences. Didn't they put out like a really bad game this year already? But I don't think they have yet. The only thing I ask is because Square have published one of the worst games for the last like 3 of the last 4 years, so they're on track. They've had a bad. Oh yeah, no, Forspoken wasn't terrible. Forspoken was just kind of mid. Like I'm talking like genuinely about like Balan Wonderworld. And that other game that I played that was on PS4 that shut down recently. Like that kind of bad. Forspoken definitely though was because that was that Square? That might have been Square. That definitely underperformed from what I hear though. Yeah. Babylon. Tower of Babylon? What was it called? Oh, I'm so bad with remembering names and just names. Names are like my kryptonite. I'm so bad at it. It's when I always have that awkward conversation where I meet people who I recognize faces. I'm good at that, and I'm like, oh, I know this person. I don't know who they are though. I developed a good technique though. Is you ask them, you say, sorry, what was your name again? And then they say, oh, it's Steve. And I say, no, I know that. So I meant your surname. And then it doesn't seem quite as rude. You got to really commit to it though, and be like, no, I know that, Steve. What's your surname? But then you do have to come up with a good. They're like, why are you asking about my surname? And it's just like, I forgot it, and I was curious. I don't know. Babylon's Fail. Yes, Babylon's Fail. But yeah, Babylon Fall, Balan Wonderworld, and then a couple of years back they put out. There was a game about the blind guy that was panned, and there was also a front mission game, I think, that got. Why am I even googling it? I've got it. I downloaded it because I was going to play it. The Quiet Man and Left Alive. I think they put out this game. Don't ask me why I bought them. Yes, it was published by Square Enix. Excellent. These games were all terrible. They were all like bottom 3 worst games of that year. Oh, I didn't know they had FF14 and Near Armor in it though. But yes, everything in Babylon's Fall is dust now. It's lost to the ether. I'd argue that having played it, nothing of value was lost. But it's just, yeah, Square have had a bad a bad run of putting out some of the worst games. They've also been putting out some great games. Like I said, like the Final Fantasy stuff they've been putting out is basically holding them up. Dragon Quest is still good. And there's been a couple of other things as well. But they've also been putting out some real stinkers. You're getting in the trolley. That thing doesn't run on hopes and dreams. Oh, yeah. The trolley may not run on hopes and dreams, but the war of darkness. I read that earlier and I was like, I can't remember what that's a reference to. And then I just now read the line. We're not fools. It's necessary. It's necessity that drives us, Nabetharang. If you insist that the trolley is not an option, at least tell us why. We can't turn on the golem that operates the controls. No. I'm sick of people asking me about that blasted thing. Leave me be. Here, I wrote a pamphlet. Oh, we'll speak outside. We'll speak outside loudly about how lame you are. Loser. Yeah, I remember you saying, yeah, we've had this discussion about Babylon's Fall before. I'm sure it does get better, but yeah, as you say, if you have to play that long until it gets good. I do love when people make that argument though, when you're like, well, I played 10 hours of it, and they're like, oh, no, it doesn't get good until like hour 40, when you really start unlocking everything. And it's like, that's not good game design then. What was I playing recently that just had hours and hours of tutorials and I can't remember what it was. I was still getting tutorials like right near the end of it. He only said that because he thinks I'm weak. And he's right, but I can't be. I won't be forever. There has to be some way. I must find it. Let's do a training montage. Get Minfilia buff. He comes back in just completely hench. He's like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess I'll tell you then. Yay! I'm level 81, which means now, for real this time, my Menfina's earring now no longer works. I am now no longer level 80 and below. I am level 81. I am above level 80. It is the end of an era. And now I look silly. Do I want to go with my... What else do I have? So I haven't worn my Shire gear for a little while. This stuff looks cool. Oh, I never got the boots for these. Did I never get the boots for these? I thought I got... Did I just run out of cash? Or did I just accidentally put the wrong boots? I'm sure I got the boots for these. Did I just put the wrong thing on? Alright, well, let's just go back to my red mage gear then. I'll fix my boots later. Oh, you made it to the top 10 leaderboards on Babylon before it died. I guess that's an accomplishment. Gets worse at the end, though, the way they would end the stories on really obnoxious cliffhangers every update. I guess that would be annoying, especially knowing the game's gonna die as well, but... Thank you, Sweetstar. I dress to impress. Or I just put on whatever clothes they give me, and then never wear them again. But I do it to impress. Oh, I'm sorry. I was stuck in my own head again. It's clear that Magnus has no intention of helping us, but perhaps we should ask the other residents. They may know something of the trolley. I'll take the north side of town. Let me know if you learn anything. Thancred, art thou truly content to stand witness to fate's course and take no part? This isn't a matter of fate, Urianger. It's about choice, and I've had years to decide where I stand. Minfilia has spent too long in chains already. I would not shackle her again by making my hopes known. It is for her to choose what shape her destiny will take. It is for me to stay silent, to protect her, teach her, and stand by her. That at least I can do for her. So be it. Come, let us make our own inquiries. Yeah. I guess I'll go and ask out over here then. Ooh, a mender. I haven't mended my... Does anything need mending? Not a huge amount. That's worth topping everything up every so often. Just in case I want to glamour it or something. What do you have to sell? Ah, Titan Bronze Rapier. That is slightly worse than the rapier I have. Thank you. Oh, there you are. You'll be pleased to know that I got our friend back home with no trouble. And he's just fine. He was just a bit shaken up is all. A few puncture wounds from the rapier, but... And you? What did Magnus have to say? He said, go away. I hate you. He didn't say that I hate you part, but it was implied. Oh, I did have a faint hope that your need might prompt him to action where our interest is not. But I suppose that was foolish of me. Well, I'm sorry that we couldn't be more help, though. I could at least show you the trolley car we have here, if you'd like. You could give it a stroke or two. It has some very smooth wood. I don't want to stroke your wood, you freak. You mean to say you're not giving up? Even knowing that Magnus is Magnus? I don't see much point in your being stubborn about it. Perhaps stubbornness is exactly what this situation calls for. Can't forge iron without an anvil, after all. Can't imagine that anything you try will work, but if you're certain, you can help me make preparations in the event that it does. To that end, take this toolbox. We're going to inspect the rails. I'll have a look along the tracks for anything that's in need of repair. You bring the tools, and be ready to hand them to me whenever I stop to work. Ryuhanchi and Thancred just like, the Warrior of Light's been asked to do a menial task again. I have none of these. We've lost him for about an hour. Yeah, a lot of studios are a lot of studios want to do the... I got slightly distracted by the Aether current over here. Let me grab this first. They want to do the big live service game because they want the money for doing a big live service game. But then they don't want to both put in the effort that the successful live service games do in order to be successful, or when it goes wrong, put in the effort to try and right it. This spot looks like it could use a bit of work. Can you ready the tools for me? There you go. Just throws the toolbox into the air. Human looks revealing the proud array of lovingly maintained tools within. Brilliant. Now, if you could hand me what I need as I work, that would be a help. In this case, well, this bolt is loose for one matter. We can't have that. I'll need to tighten it. Very good. Let me give you a drill. I'll give you a ragged cloth. I could use this to wipe any excess oil clean to the bolt, but I don't think that will be necessary in this case. I'd like to move on right to tightening the bolt, so please hand me the tool for that. No problem at all. Here's the... Oh, I didn't give me a chance for me to do it. Oh, wait, no, wait. Here we go. This saw. That'll do the job. This will cut right to the heart of the problem. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. I get that reference. I need something to tighten the bolt, please. How many tools do you have in here? I could waste all of your day. Fine, have a wrench. Thank you. This one will do nicely. I love how he has to inspect the tool. He's like, yeah, this is the one. This is the one. Now give me a moment and... I think the saw would have been better though, but... You know, to each their own. There, I don't see any problems here, so let's continue along the track. I remember trying to play Anthem recently with a friend, and the glitches that made it impossible to party up was still there. Never got fixed since launch. Do you know, there's a game coming up that I have the exact same concern about, and it's seeing the trailer for it. Well, the gameplay trailer. It's the new Suicide Squad game, and it screams to me similar to the Avengers game that came out, that again Square put out a few years ago, which also got shut down because they couldn't be bothered to keep it going. It feels to me like, I mean, it's Rocksteady. Rocksteady. The guys who made Arkham. I get the feeling that they were like, hey, you know Arkham, do that but make it into a live service game. And that's what it feels like with Suicide Squad. That it's got a plot from beginning to end, but also we want people to play the levels over and over and over again and get like loot drops and stuff. And I feel like it's just going to be exactly the same as Avengers, where people are going to be like, the main story's okay if you just do the main story. All the live service stuff is bullshit. Just ignore it, and people will ignore it, and then the game will fail, and then they'll cancel it and close the servers down. And it's like, if they just made a good single-player story, it would have been fine. I'm a bit concerned about this lantern post. Would you ready the tools for me? So yeah, I could see that being the exact same thing, where any major problems with it, you just won't be bothered to fix it, and it will still cause the same problems. The other thing is as well is that it's blatantly going to come out for like 70 quid, and it's a 4-player co-op game. I have a hard enough time convincing 3 of my friends to play games with me when they're on Games Pass. That doesn't cost them any money at all. I just have to convince them that the game is worth downloading. I can't convince 3 of my friends to buy a 70 quid game to play with me on the off chance that it's decent. Especially knowing like in 6 months it's going to be down to like 20 quid. So, you know, 6 months after it comes out, I'm looking forward to playing Suicide Squad. You're quite handy to have around, you know? Am I? Because I'm going to hand you the 2 wrong tools again. As to the lamp here, these aren't often necessary these days, but if we're going to do this, we might as well do it properly. And if by some miracle the night returns, as it did in Lakeland, well, it's a nice thought. Feels like every game dev is creating good games, and then they go, but how about a live service? No, you're wrong. It feels like every game dev is creating good games, and then the publisher goes, how about a live service? Or even worse, which again is going back to Square, let's put NFTs in it. Although the guy who was like really riding that NFT train at Square has apparently been ousted. Because they had a period last year where they were like, every game has an NFT in it. Like, I've got a pre-order for a Cloud Strife action figure that has an NFT in it, and I hate it, but I really want the figure. And there was a version of it that also came with an NFT. That came with like another NFT. There's 2 versions. There's one that comes with 2 NFTs and one that comes with 1. And you don't have to redeem it. It's like it's basically a digital receipt, and I don't plan to because fuck NFTs. But yeah, it just they were really sort of pushing them into like every crevice for a little while there. It seems like the fads died out, fortunately, but. I know you stun locking too much of your solo, too much stuff going on for one player. Yeah, I got the feeling from playing Babylon's 4 that it was not a very fun game. I mean, it wasn't a fun game to play solo. And I was really trying to play it multiplayer, and just no one wanted to play with me. So I never got to find out. Anyhow, the bit of this post seems to have splintered. Whether this lamp is to be lit or not, we wouldn't want these little pieces of wood jabbing the next person who comes through here to do maintenance. I need to sand it down a bit. Got it. So to sand it down, you'll want this saw to cut off all of the pointy bits. Sure, I'll be hacking at this massive saw. Honestly, are you all away with the Fae? We're trying to prevent splinters, not chop down the post like a tree. Now be something a bit more delicate, if you please. I thought I got it right then for a second. Hang on, I got this. I've got this. Focus, warrior of light. Focus. The hammer! We'll hammer the splinters back in. You have an interesting sense of humour. Now, can I have the proper tool this time? It's worth being stupid for this one. Fine, have a file. NFT anime waifus. Better, NFT anime husbandos. They do have an Aerith and Tifa figure, but it's only the Cloud one I pre-ordered. I would... As much as I'd love to buy all of them, I already have the PlayArts Kai figures of the Final Fantasy VII cast. So I've limited myself to just Cloud of this other set. It's the... I can't remember what they call it. It's the figure that actually looks like the character model from... Not the character model, but the design from the original Final Fantasy VII instead of the remake. So I've got all the remake figures. I'm just waiting for the... So I can't really justify the expense to buy them all again in a slightly different form. But one I can. Yeah, a wood file's perfect. Let me even this out. I mean, I would... A poor workman blames his tools. If you can't do it with a hammer and a saw, I don't know what to tell you. I should do it. I'll bring some varnish along next time to finish the job. I haven't spotted any other problems, so we can move along now. Unless you'd like to take a view in the tracks from here a bit longer. It's breathtaking, I know. Exactly. We could have tenderized our wood together. Mining has always been the primary vocation of folks in the hills of Amber, you see. But after a certain point, they dug up everything that could easily be reached and carried back by manpower alone. It was then that the Nabath Empire struck upon the idea of the Talos, which they had seen at work abroad. At great expense, the Nabath brought the Mistal engineers who specialised in Talos here to the hills. And wouldn't you know it, the mining industry picked right up again. Twine itself sprung up around that time, as a matter of fact. It was named after the entwining of tales, the fruitful cooperation between the native Ronso and the newly come Mistel. But that, like so much else, fell apart in the wake of the flood. The Mistel left, taking their knowledge with them. It was 15 years ago that the last of them, the folk from Daedalus Stoneworks, took off for Yulmore, and now no one remains that can repair and operate the Talus. But there's no use in lamenting what can't be changed, and there's one more thing we need to do while we're out here, so we might as well get to it. Vultures occasionally make their nests on the tracks, you see, and it falls to us to remove them when they do. The creatures are angry and disturbed, which is natural, but nevertheless a danger to anyone passing by. It's not my favourite task, to be honest with you. As you may have noticed, I'm not terribly suited to confrontation. That said, will you follow the tracks north and remove any nests you find for me? I'll keep an eye out on things from here. Which is to say, I will watch you do it. Because, as I said, I can't fight these things. I honestly don't know how we've managed so far. These things are terrifying, and I hate them. I almost fell off the tracks there. I see your bird and raise you a bird. I tell you, one Final Fantasy game I wish did get a sequel, and also that I want to play at some point, because I played the first sort of 5 hours of it, and then never did, and never finished it, and I really liked it. There was no reason really for me to stop playing it. But it's World of Final Fantasy. Like, I always thought that was... I was surprised that didn't take off, because it seemed like a really... It seemed like it was well written, and it seemed like an interesting concept. He does strike me as a kind of watch. Oh, you reckon he's over there tenderizing his wood while I'm off here choking these vultures? Freaks and deviants, the lot of them. That's why you can't trust miners. Augustus. Thank you. Alright, let's go back and speak with Cherrick. I say this all the time, that there's games I'd love to play and stream and stuff, and there's just never enough time. Never enough time. That said, I have booked 2 days either side of the weekend that Tears of the Kingdom comes out, and I am intending to just do back-to-back 12-hour streams of that, just because when Breath of the Wild came out, that's what I did. I recorded a little bit in it for a video, and then just played it for like 16 hours, I think, every day until I finished it. I can't remember if I went to work. I may have taken time off work for it. I just friggin' love that. I just friggin' love that game. Thank you. That should be everything taken care of. In return for your help, I'll tell you a bit more about the trolley. Nothing that can get it started, though. Again, though, as I said, the only people who know how to repair the tailor are long gone. When they left, the life began to bleed out of the town. The trolley's tracks rusted and its cars fell into disrepair. Now, I was born in Twine, raised there. My first word was trolley, damn it, and those were the worst years of my life. But then about 7 years passed, Magnus and his wife returned to us. Magnus is a real proper trolley engineer, and perhaps he would never have left in the first place if it hadn't been for his son. As you're well aware, Almarang is hardly the safest place, and Magnus wanted his child to grow up away from its dangers. Didn't help in the end. Cinny has got the boy. Isn't that always the way? Child had always said that someday he wanted to see the Magnus's trolley running again. So in his memory, they returned to Twine, started fixing those rusted rails and broken cars, and it was going well for a time. Wicked whites, vultures? Are they back for revenge? Never mind, I don't want to find out. Do I have to... No, I guess I just have to leave. Too many good games. Yeah, there are, and there are even more bad games that are fun to play. Poke fun out. I got some PS2 ones lined up, and there was a game that came out. It's at full price. I can't just I got it when it comes down in price. I'm definitely gonna play it. But it came out like last week or the week before, and it looks bonkers. In like it looks so bad. The voice acting on it's terrible, but like the kind of voice, like it looks so delightfully bad, and I'm looking forward to playing it. I'd have to look at what it's called in a second, but oh, we bought Temtem. I enjoyed. I played the closed beta for that right when it came out, and then I don't know why I didn't buy it when it came out. I think there's other stuff out at the same time as it. Yeah, it looked fun. It was one of those ones that I was like, I'll go back to it, and then I kind of missed the window on it. nice work out there. And now that you know the story of the trolley, won't do you much good without the Talos, though. If there was ever a single one that still functioned, things might be different, but, well, here we are. Alright, it is 12:30, so we'll call it there. Let's open my leg coffer and get my Ovim wool bottoms of casting. Slap those on, and then immediately cover them up because they look silly. There we go. No, I don't look silly at all. And we shall pick this up again next week. Yeah, I don't have anything coming out on Friday next week that I want to play instead. What's that game? What's that game that just came out? I gotta look it up. Let's see. Would it come out in February? I saw it on the Xbox, because I occasionally just go on the Xbox store and go to, like, games coming out. It's a good way to find some sort of diamonds in the rough and stuff. And I did see the logo for this game, and it looked super generic, and it kind of is. But then I watched the trailer for it, and it just gets like, it starts super generic and then gets just strange. Oh, this doesn't have. Hang on, I need like a proper. List of video games that have come out. There you go. Wikipedia's got a good list. It only just came out, and I don't trust the PlayStation Store to have it, because the PlayStation Store is, as much as I do like the PS5, the PlayStation Store is awful compared to the Xbox Store. What was it called? It had like, oh, that was it. Wanted Dead. Yeah. It's what's its score at the moment? It's got a 4 out of 10 on IGN. Its Metacritic score is 57%. So that should tell you what you need to know about it. It is on PlayStation 5. It only just came out, so it might be like finding stuff on the PlayStation Store is so hard sometimes. Like Xbox just goes, yeah, we just got a list of games in the order they came out. So if it just came out, or if it's just about to come out, you can find it really easy. But PlayStation Store like pushes all certain stuff to the top, and so unless you know that you can't, it's really hard for discovering games. You actually have to know the game and look for it. And this is a thing. Like indie developers complain about it as well, that it's really hard for their games to be discovered on the PlayStation Store compared to the.
Stone, we got a call 2 blocks away. Someone triggered the silent alarm at Tower. Get your ass out of there. Most of the force is on the move.
It's like I said, the voice acting. Like, it's one of those. It's like, I quite like the design of the main character as well. Actually, it looks pretty cool.
Today is a bad day for Dower.
Any updates?
What we know so far is that an unknown strike team attacked Dower Synthetics at 2100 hours. They busted in, barricaded inside, and turned off the grid.
How many?
Too many.
Gear up.
Should we watch the whole trailer? It's 3 minutes.
Be careful.
By the way, it's not the developer that made Ninja Gaiden, and that it's some other people who worked on it have gone to work at this studio. I've heard it just what caught my attention is that someone likened it to the Devil's Third. If you've ever played that game, which is again a similar sort of style to this, where it's like it's trying to be something really, really cool, but it clearly doesn't have the budget, and it's just Oh, it's delightful to see it fail to do the landing.
Police.
You're not a regular cop, are you?
Like, how does it get from them assaulting the tower from terrorists to the talking to a child in a bedroom? And then there's multiple. I don't know if it's one shower scene or if there's multiple shower scenes. The trailer has multiple, but it could be the same one from different angles. It's not clear. I really want to play this. See, I'm pretty sure this is a different shower scene to the one from earlier.
What a pleasant surprise. There'll be a lot to discuss.
Looking forward.
It's like a
to it.
David Cage game.
Life is complicated. I kind of wish to rewind to the place where everything went wrong.
With Loeb?
With everything.
A bunch of synthetics about to start a riot. You're the mobile riot police unit. Start acting
Like, the opening of this makes it seem like, oh, it's going to be like we're just in this one building. And then they're at a noodle bar, they're in a park, they're at a diner, she's eating jelly. She's in another shower.
Playing up with me, girl. I've seen Tom.
Out of my way. Welcome to the worst day of your life.
These games like this make me so
Do you feel
happy.
pain?
Do you?
Don't make me hurt you.
Tower Synthetics is about to pull the plug. Our citizenship claims will be revoked. Your track record won't mean shit. Outside these walls, you're a war criminal. You
Just
won't
a
be
random
able to see the light of
spider.
day once that badge is taken away from you.
You're done.
But like I said, looking at it from just the picture in the store, this game looks super like uninteresting and generic. And just looking at that picture, I just thought, oh no, this looks lame. But then, yeah, it's like Devil's Third, and I was like, oh, I gotta play this. So I will play that at some point. I can't quite justify paying full price for it. But when it's on sale, we're playing it, and I'm very excited to be playing that. Yeah, the PS5 store sucks, and the annoying thing is the PS store on the browser used to be really good, and then they ruined it to match the PS5 store, and it's now just, again, it's so hard to find anything on there, and yeah, I mean, I think the reason they did it. There was something else they changed at the same time. I think they changed how parties worked at the same time, and I think they. I think there was something about party chats where you used to be able to create. I haven't played online on the PS5 in a while because my friends have all moved over to Xbox. You used to just be able to create parties, but now you have to create a group and then create a party from that group. So now I have like 5 different groups of different combinations of my friends, because sometimes certain friends aren't available. So sometimes I have 2 of those friends, and sometimes I have 2 different friends, and then I have to just alternate. It was so stupid. They just made, like, yeah, as you say, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And they completely ruined it. But yeah, no, the Pompadour's Strat default hairstyle. I think only some of the races have it though. I think Lalafells and Hures have it, but I don't know if. I think, do the bunnies have it as a haircut? Yeah, the elves probably do as well. But some of the races have more limited hairstyles, so the Pompadour's not available for everyone. The sunglasses though you have to buy, sadly, but they're not very expensive. Yeah, it's a choice between my Hured Jack Dandy or a Lalafell Jack Dandy when I originally created the character, and I don't know. Part of me wishes I had chosen the Potato Fairy, but I do like how cool my guy looks. Oh, Hrothgar and bunnies don't have it. What about the Aura? Do they have pompadours? I don't think I've ever seen an... I don't think I've seen an Aura with a pompadour, but I could have done and just forgotten about it. Lalafell and Hures definitely do, though, because I have it. So yeah, I just took an aside there to watch a trailer for a game that I'm excited for. That's out, but like I said, I just can't. Yeah, I will buy it. We will play it, and we will enjoy how delightfully bad it is. I might do it as like I plan to, so once I've moved, I've got a bit more kind of flexibility with my schedule, and I plan to do a lot more all-day streams on a Saturday, rather than starting late or, I don't know who these guys are running around with their dragons, but they keep going back and forth. Rather than starting late or doing like, I basically, I have options to do some all-day streams, which opens up the possibility of doing some longer games. For example, I really want to play Disco Elysium, but it's a 20-hour game and it's quite dense. So if I do it, I kind of want to get it out of the way, do it and get it out of the way, which isn't the right way to phrase it, but it's, I don't want a game like that to linger too long, if that makes sense. So, as much as I do want to stream it, because it's got like so many different branches and variables and random paths, and it's just, I've heard such good things about it. It's been sat on my installed on my Xbox for like 6 months now. I might play that while I'm waiting for Resident Evil 4 to come out. Don't know. It's either that or Metroid Prime, which is also tempting because I've never played that before. Anyway, let's call it there. I will probably be back tomorrow. I'm going out for dinner at 6, so I should be done by 8 and home and then playing something. If I do, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to play. We might. I kind of want to do a crowd control session in the original Resident Evil 4. Because I think that would be quite fun. But I don't know if Saturday night's kind of too late to do it. It feels like a Monday afternoon kind of thing, you know? There is also that new Neo Sekiro game, Wukong or whatever. We had this discussion on Wednesday. Anyway, point is, I might play. If I'm back, I'll be streaming tomorrow and I'll be playing something. If I don't stream something tomorrow, then it'll be Monday. I can't do something on Sunday, really. I'm busy. So yeah, if I see you then, I'll see you then. Otherwise, I'll see you when I see you. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a good night. Goodbye. Good luck. Alvida Sen. Wolong, that's what it's called. Yeah, I can't. I keep thinking Wukong, and which is a different game. Wolong. I've heard good things and bad things about it, but it's free, so it wouldn't cost me any money to play it. So maybe I'll do a one-off on that tomorrow. This is a nice kind of, just nice one-off, and then maybe we'll do Resident Evil 4. I'd like to do Resident Evil 4 before the remake comes out, just as a kind of, hey, look, this is what the old game looks like. Now let's see the new one. Yay! But not the whole game. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, see you then. Bye. Good everything. Good. What did I say? Good night. Good luck. Goodbye. Good speed.